being back at your alma mater here and going into the opening of Wilkinson Hall on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm extremely blessed to be here at my alma mater and leading this program. It's a great opportunity this weekend to open up in Wilkinson Hall. It's kind of one thing that most coaches probably only achieve once in a lifetime. So to be able to have that opportunity, I'm really excited for it.
I guess first on the lighter side, will you miss the U Gym? Is it going to be sad to see it go?
I guess I'll miss it just because I competed in there. But at the same time, I walked through Wilkinson Hall yesterday, and just being in there, I told my wrestlers, man, I wish I could compete again. It's a good atmosphere. The crowd's going to be great, and so as much as I'll miss U Gym, this is a great place for Indiana wrestling to kind of continue the tradition.
I guess to follow up on that, you were an athlete that was recruited to the U Gym, was recruited to the wrestling program. I guess if you want to say as it was a little bit, how different is it, the program that maybe you're presenting to athletes now with Wilkinson, with facilities changes and all those different things?
Yeah, I think, when I was recruited, it was kind of, set the tone a little bit, right? Set the tone, come here, do something that's never been done as far as a guy staying in state, become an All-American national champ. So that was kind of the pitch for me. And now, as moving forward, Wilkinson Hall, now my pitch to other athletes is, we're trying to put Indiana on top of the map as far as nationally. Top 10 program, top 5 program, national champion program. And when you look at Wilkinson Hall, you see a building that, competes with everyone else in the country as far as facility-wise. So, that's the standard right there, and we're going to bring in the recruits, and the wrestling's going to kind of take care of itself.
Kind of along those same lines, what are some of the advantages, besides recruiting that Wilkinson Hall gives you that maybe you didn't have previously while using the U Gym?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, lighting. Lighting's great. Another thing is proximity to where we practice. The guys are going to be able to kind of feel more at home, not have to jump in their car and drive over. They can just walk right over. So that's a level of comfort that they're going to get. Because it was kind of hard when you practice and then you drive. You don't really feel like you're at home. So this is a really big thing for our wrestlers. And then from a fan's perspective, it's it's a building that everybody's going to kind of build together, and that's going to be great. We're trying to build this fan base. We're trying to build this new tradition where we sell out Wilkinson Hall every weekend. So for fans to have that opportunity, I think it's something that's very unique.
Being an in-state guy, you came to Indiana, while the wrestling hasn't quite been on par at that national level you talked about in recent years, how does that pitch work to recruits, I guess, especially in-state guys haven't had that experience yourself and haven't had success here that maybe they haven't seen in the last 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I think it's, as far as, my success, I can, tell them that it can be done here at Indiana, and, I was able to do it, and, you can come here and excel at a very high level. So the pitch now is, why not? Why not it be you, the next guy that hang the banner, be a national champ, be the next 4-time All-American, break all my records. As a coach, I set out to get individuals that are going to be better than I am. So that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I kind of go in, every individual's home here in state and even nationally is, I want to build you to be a better man and also a better wrestler than, I ever was. So, I think we can get there. It's going to take some time, but, the recruits that we got this year, I think we're on our way and towards that direction.
Just the last couple of weeks, obviously, after got in Fort Lauderdale, got 4 ranked teams you took on down there, and then obviously opening a new gym now. What have the last couple of weeks been like for you over the program?
I think it's, the last couple of weeks were huge. So we went down to South Beach and faced, 2 top 10 teams and then other 2 more ranked teams. And we were able to pull away a win against North Carolina, who was ranked 12th in the country. Now, kind of speak volumes of that win. Our seniors who have been competing for 4 years have never seen a win like that in their whole career. So for them to put in that time and effort to the program and to be able to achieve that was something great to see. They were excited. They're seeing their hard work pay off. And so I think now it's like, okay, we did that. We jumped over that hump of beating a nationally ranked opponent. Now let's see how far we can take this. Now let's knock off a Big Ten opponent, someone that maybe we've never beaten before. So I think, we're moving forward, and the guys are getting better every weekend.
If you'll forgive just the one question, I mean, the Big Ten being what it is in wrestling,
Right.
I imagine it's a challenge. I imagine it also presents some opportunities. Just kind of how do you talk about moving, when you're talking to recruits or fans or coaching or assistants, anybody, how do you talk about moving Indiana up that ladder in a conference like that?
Yeah, so, I mean, Big Ten is super competitive when you're talking about the best teams in the country. I mean, you have Penn State. I think in the last 10 years, 9 years, Big Ten teams have won it. So the best teams are in this conference, but there is a lot of opportunity. So for us, we do RPI rankings. So the more quality opponents you beat, the better it is for you to get to nationals, to build your resume. So every time we get a team coming in that's ranked in the top 20, I tell my guys, this is an opportunity for you to knock off someone that, maybe on paper you weren't supposed to. Now you're in contention to go to nationals. So it's an opportunity. And now, being in the Big Ten Conference, now you have more opportunity. We're going to have 9 matches where we're facing top 20 teams. So that's the kind of way that we pitch it is, every match is an opportunity to kind of build your resume, to get to nationals, to get a seed, to become All-American, to be a national champ. Because eventually you got to beat those guys if you want to do those things.
Obviously wrestling here and also having a couple of years here in the associate head coach role, how much has Dwayne kind of shaped your philosophy on what is not only a wrestler but also be someone who can do the coaching aspects, whether it's the stuff that happens on the mat but also the stuff that happens behind the scenes that maybe fans or people watching from the outside don't see every day?
Right. Yeah, no, he was a great mentor when you talk about his career. I mean, he was a 4-time NCAA finalist, which is, there are very few of those. So just kind of his work ethic, his mental toughness, what he was able to bring to the table, I learned those things. He had a lot of experience. He saw a lot throughout his years. So that 1 year underneath him, I asked a lot of questions and just was asking him, what were the good things and what were the bad things, and just trying to learn from those things and, move this program forward, with his blessing.
Anybody else?
You talked about it a little bit there, but I was going to just ask one more, and I imagine it's a question you've been asked before, but just what does it mean to you to be the guy that, as you talked about, stayed home, committed, maybe trod a path that not a lot of people would, had the success you had, and now you're kind of the steward of the program that you grew up in?
Yeah, when I set out to be a coach, just like an athlete, it's like I want to be someone that's legendary, as an athlete and then now as a coach. And for me, it's like there's no other place I would rather become legendary than Indiana University, being the wrestling coach, being the leader here. So for me to get this opportunity, I'm just so thankful and grateful for it. I mean, my passion is going to be there every single day, my work ethic, because I do want to be the greatest coach ever. I want to build, and that's what I aspire to be. So, I wouldn't want to do it any other place. So I'm grateful that I get to show up and, Crimson and Cream and go out there and, just lead this program.
Any questions? Another? Yep.
So I guess kind of going to the root of that for a second here, why become a coach? Why not? I mean, obviously you're a successful wrestler, probably could open up a training gym or something like that, so why go into the coaching field and what about it appeals to you?
Yeah, my goal was to be a 4-time national champ. That was my goal. I had really high goals, and I fell short of those. And now it's like I want to keep continuing to build men that will beat my records, and then off the mat, that will be, better men as far as better fathers, better brothers, family members, all of that. Be productive in society, be successful, and give back to this university for the rest of their lives. When people think of Indiana wrestling, I want them to think, well, they produce great men, not only great wrestlers, but great men. So I know as a coach you have that impact and you have that influence. So I want to, be that product and kind of show them how to become a better man. I think from 18 to 23 is some of the most important time in your life, right? As you're shaping to become a man. So that's a great opportunity for me to be that influence.
Good. Thanks, everyone.